Hi, welcome to PAC-B TV, Baldwinsville's local access station. I am Lisa Saunders, contacting you from this little mural. It's not really in my room, but I just didn't want you to see my unmade bed. So anyway, this is a mural in Baldwinsville, New York. For those of you who know it, it's on the Erie Canal. And I have a very interesting guest today who's going to do a great demonstration outside. Are we on your back porch or front porch?
It's my front porch, yeah.
Okay, well, tell us who you are and why you're sitting there with a zillion swords behind you and next to you.
I'm Emily Quant, also known as Pyro Belly Dancer. I have 50 swords with me here today. I am going for a world record this weekend. I'm going to be balancing the most swords in 1 minute and the most swords in 3 minutes.
Now, how on earth does this become a thing that people do?
Well, sword balancing is actually a tradition in a lot of different nationalities. It's part of belly dancing, it's part of Scottish dancing, it's part of Indian dancing. So many cultures around the world do stuff with sword balancing. But I came to it through belly dance. And during the pandemic, I didn't have any paid shows for about a year. And so I started working on my sword balancing, which is something I don't often use in my shows, that I wasn't using in my shows for a while, because all of my shows are fire shows right now. And then I realized I could balance quite a lot of them. And it seemed like people are more excited about the number of swords that I was doing than like how technically difficult the thing I was doing with 1 or 2 swords. So I'll show you a little bit of both of those today.
Yeah, please show us. You're getting me all excited to see this, and we're getting a demonstration, and then of course I want to find out more about it. But this is crazy. Okay, sword 1.
Well, a lot of times I will open this sword show with a little balancing just while I'm talking to people and warming up. When I do the finale, I'm actually upside down. And that's actually how I get the most swords on me, because there's a stability issue. Once I get over like 20 swords or so, that's 40 pounds of weight. And I can't actually put them on me in any other position that doesn't hurt my joints. Like my hips get hurting and my knees get hurting. Oh boy. See, and the other thing is when I set them down, each blade affects the other ones. So I have to be really careful, like not to react.
Oh my goodness. It's really, I'm watching you concentrate. So it's not easy.
This is not easy. People think because I do it well that it's easy to do. And I've been sword balancing for 10 years, believe it or not. And I've been working on this particular act for 2.5 years, which is like an abysmal amount of time for me to spend on any one aspect of my show, because it's really only just one part of it. I also do dancing. I also do firework. This is kind of, I don't know how many more of these I can do, but yeah. Sometimes when I get too many, like I start shaking because the weight is like a lot.
Wow.
Actually sharpens blades. These are my throwing knives. So I can only do these when I'm right side up and not blindfolded, because like if they fall towards my face, I need to respawn. There we go.
This is unbelievable. I have goosebumps. This is so exciting.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I can do this one. I'm not supposed to wash my hair the day of the show because it makes my sword slide. I think I got it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So that's just how I get started.
And okay, there's just so many questions I have. First of all, where are you from? You were brought up in Port Byron, New York, upstate New York?
Yes, I grew up in Port Byron, and it was interesting because growing up, I didn't really have a sense that you could actually make a living or money doing artwork. I just didn't see anybody doing that. I knew I had some great teachers, but that was really kind of my only contact. So I was like, unless you're singing at the Super Bowl, you don't really actually make a living doing artsy things. But when I went to college at Geneseo, my first year, I met a visual artist, a painter, who really inspired me because he was actually selling his paintings and making like good money doing artwork. So I thank Doug for that. But it kind of inspired me to do dancing while I was young enough to keep doing it, because it's a very time sensitive craft. Like you can't, it's a lot harder to be a professional dancer when you're 75, you know? So I figured while I was in my 20s, I should try it now or else always wonder, you know?
All right. So what you took belly dancing or ballet or what did you take?
I started, I'm classically trained. So I studied with Elizabeth Wilmot Bishop, all growing up through high school, and started when I was 5. And I didn't realize how good my training was until I got to college, and I realized that I was in a completely different level than everybody around me. And I was like craving that technical challenge. You know, I needed to go to a conservatory to like go to the next level. So I ended up going to SUNY Purchase eventually. And then I danced in the city for many years in New York. And my favorite—
for who? For what?
I danced mostly with the Wendy Osterman Dance Company, but I also did some shows with the Jose Limon Dance Company, which was kind of my dream since I was little. So it was really exciting to have that level of accomplishment in an extremely competitive field. So that was really exciting and fun to finally work with them. And, you know, Wendy was always in my corner and encouraging me as a young dancer to keep going and be creative. There was a lot of contribution to that creative process. So I had a lot of fantastic experiences as a contemporary dancer.
Okay, so you start doing, you said you've been doing swords for 10 years? Like you have your
Yeah.
own act? Like how do you make money? You do shows or what do you do?
So I kind of came to the sword balancing through belly dance because I was just starting out. I was making a transition from classical dance to belly dance, which are completely opposite techniques. And my teacher was saying, you don't really have any belly dance techniques. So, you know, why don't you just like put the sword on your head and see if you can move around a little bit? And I was like, okay, you know, coming from ballet, like putting stuff on my head is like not a big deal because we have to have like extremely good balance to do the turns and everything. I'm going to see if I can stand up behind you because there's this one trick that everybody really likes. I'm going to see if I can do it. Okay. I don't know if you can see me. If I come back here,
Okay,
can you
there,
still—
yes, I can see you from there.
Okay. So I'm just going to move my truck for a second. So she asked me, you know, if you can I move around a little bit while I have this on my head? And I was like, yeah, I can definitely do that. Do you have another sword? Because I could probably balance another one. And because of my ballet background, I could do a lot of things with it balance. You know? And then this is going to be even harder. Let's see if I can get low enough to do this one. But I started balancing on my feet because that was something that nobody else could do. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
So maybe if I back up, I can do a little higher. Yeah, there it is.
I'm flabbergasted.
It's all fun, you know.
Who hires you to do this?
Say that again.
Who hires you to do this?
Well, I started out dancing in clubs in Manhattan doing belly dance. And that was fun. I would do it as sort of a specialty act in the middle of my belly dance set. And now, because I'm doing all fire, I have, I'll show you my fire sword. So these are fire swords with Kevlar wicking on the end. And we soak this in white gas. And then that can be balanced on my head
So
as
you
well.
have fire going on next to you,
Yeah,
your
it's like
face.
yeah, and that's a little scary because the way the blade is shaped, the fire can sometimes go straight up the blade towards my face. So I have to kind of duck out sometimes pretty quickly.
Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah. I have to tell my hairdresser, you know, oh, I have a few bird spots. So just kind of like work around that. And he said, what do you have on your head that's burning? It's like, well, I have swords on my head. And so that's always a fun conversation.
you have a very unusual career. Now, and I like your outfit. You mentioned earlier before we started the show, you wear that to Renaissance festivals?
Yeah, there's a new Renaissance festival starting this year called Kingdom Fair. And it's out of Jefferson Valley, Putnam Valley. And I'm going to be there most weekends in May and June. And my fire performance company is going to be alternating with me. So it's kind of like a fun partnership with them this year. And I'm really excited to see how the turnout will be. And it looks like they have a whole castle set up and everything. I was like, I'm so amazed that they are pulling all of this together. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that festival goes.
Well, that train is excited to see you too. You ever perform at the New York State Fair?
I've never performed at the New York State Fair. No.
I hope you do. How can we all find out where you're going to be appearing next? So tell us what to look for. What's your website, or however we can, do you have a newsletter, just something so we can keep track of you?
Yeah, I do have both. I have pyrobellydancer.com. And I also have an email list. If people want to send me their email address, you can just write it in the contact form there. And my company website is pyrodepartment.com, which is, it's all on the same site. It's just different tabs. So
okay. Yeah. So tell me about this world record you're trying to get. Like, are you competing? Like, are there other people showing up for this competition, or what is this?
That's an interesting thought. I actually, I'm going to be setting 2 new records. I had to apply for them to be approved by the company, and they approved 2 out of my 3 applications. So the one I'm proudest of was the 61 swords, which was like, it was like a feat of strength, but they didn't approve that one for this year. I'm going to try again for next year. So basically I have to see how many swords I can balance on myself in 1 minute and in 3 minutes. And it's a little bit challenging because they won't let me use any drying agents on my skin, which has been pretty important during training, so that they don't slip off afterwards. Because sometimes once I balance them, they'll just slide off. And especially when I'm upside down, that's really scary. It's so dangerous. I actually wear a face shield when I'm upside down so that I don't get hilts in my teeth. It's really bad. But yeah, I just—
So like a drying agent, you mean what, takes oils off your skin, or what is that?
It's like rosin, you know, like gymnasts use on their hands so they don't slide off the bars.
Okay.
It doesn't make things sticky. It just sort of dries out your skin so it's not sweaty.
So you're not allowed to use that, you said?
I'm not allowed to use it. So I'm doing my attempts indoors in a temperature controlled spot, hoping that will help me balance them without like sweating too much or being too cold. Because like even being too cold somehow seems to make them slide. I don't know why, but that is a thing. Yeah. I could actually do a demonstration for you of my 1 minute one. Sure. If you want me to.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And I usually have like a helper who hands me the swords off the rack. But I'll see what I'm supposed to get 12 in 1 minute. We'll see how I do. But yeah, without a helper, let's see what happens here. Okay, so I put most of them on my legs because it's just a very stable place that doesn't wreck my knees. I'm gonna get my timer ready here. I always use my phone, and usually I throw it, but I have it on I usually set the timer and then fling it, which is probably not great for the phone. So I get one ready. All right, let's see how I do. Going for a 12. On my mark, get set, and go. Oh, sorry. Don't usually have a tripod there.
I'm afraid to talk because I don't want to mess you up.
You're okay.
I'm so nervous.
Okay, just let it go. Okay, it's okay. Really cold up this morning. Okay, so that's it. My time is up. And I have to hold it for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. 13, 14, 15, 16.
Congratulations. Yeah. I was so nervous. I thought, I don't want you to get cut on this show. I mean, I don't want you to get cut at all, but have you ever gotten cut?
So in fact, these are unsharpened blades. Sorry, hold on. These are prop swords. So they're not sharp, but they're very heavy. They're 2 pounds each. So they do cut me anyway, especially when they fall. Like if they fall this way, I get cut by this flat part, which is just square. And I've gotten like a 3-inch cut just from that falling on me.
Oh
and yeah, it just, there's a certain kind of like insanity that goes along with this. I'm actually not a person that's into pain. I know some people are like that, but it's like not fun for me. I just have like a high pain tolerance, so I don't really notice. So I will cut myself and not realize it. And then like when I'm in the shower, I'm like, oh, what is going on? And I was like, oh man, I cut myself. You can see the marks from the swords on my legs here.
Yes, I can. Now, do you feel like Houdini? Like, did you like read about him or watch him, or do you think about all these stunt performers?
I am very lucky to have a lot of awesome artists and performers and stunt people in my life. In fact, I have probably 3 or 4 friends who have world records already. So it's kind of fun to be like seeing what they're up to, seeing like the different things that people are working on and building. I also build a lot of my own props. So it's kind of fun to see what everybody's working on and what new records they're trying to set this year. Yeah, I guess as far as history goes, I probably know more about the history of dance and belly dance and ballet and contemporary than I really know about like stunt performance in particular.
Well, do movies ever hire you? Do they know about you, like filmmakers, if they need a belly dancer or sword balancer or something?
I recently got hired to do an Indiana Jones feature show, and I also do some whip arts, and I did this whole like female Indiana Jones set, and people got like so excited about that. And I guess Disney's making a new Indiana Jones with a female lead. And they're all like, you have to get in front of them. You have to get cast for this. And I was like, I guess I need an agent.
So you don't have an agent now?
I have a few agents who hire me for like small or local stuff, but I don't have like a film agent, which is an entirely different.
Right. Well, yeah. So I hope you get one soon, because this is so interesting. Thank you so much. We're running out of time.
Sure.
You've given us your website, and again, just say it one more time before we get off.
Sure. I'm Pyro Belly Dancer. My website is pyrobellydancer.com. You can sign up there for my email list. And I also have a Patreon with the same name if you want to contribute to the madness.
Well, thank you so much. This was very interesting, and good luck to you on your world records. I can't wait to I'll sign up for your newsletter, and I hope everyone else does too, because I want to see you
Yeah.
and keep
Thanks
track
so
of
much.
you. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.